Hello friends, this is Andy from the Ayerdi farmhouse again. It's October 14th and I wanted to bring just a tiny little bit of an announcement video and some information on our upcoming missionary teen retreat. Many of you have followed us for years as we have organized this retreat for MKs, primarily MKs around here in Europe. And this is going to be our 14th retreat. And we look back on many years of blessing as God has brought, well, I'm not exactly sure of the numbers. I know well over 200 MKs have come to the retreats, but unique ones I think stand somewhere around the 150, 160 mark. That is how many kids have at one point or another come to our retreats. We've had many different speakers, wonderful weeks of blessing. And it's just been a tremendous ministry. One of those exciting ministries that we do every year here at the farmhouse. And like I say, many of you are friends that have followed us through the years, and so this is a little bit of info for you. The retreat will start on December 7th, which is just under 2 months from now. And it'll go from a Thursday to a Wednesday the 13th. So that means that 2 months from today, most of the MKs should be back at their house. Telling their parents about the retreat. We ask you to pray. First of all, our guests this year are Keith and Sarah Fleming from Brookside up in Wisconsin. Some of you may know of that ministry. We had the privilege of participating in their missions conference a few years ago, and they've been behind us ever since. And it's a fantastic church and a tremendous missions program. They've been a huge blessing to us. They've been a huge blessing to the farmhouse through mission teams and offerings. And so Keith is on the pastoral staff there, and he and Sarah are coming to be a blessing to the kids, and we're looking forward to being with them. We had a blast with them when we met them back years ago at the church, and so looking forward to that. Also, Pastor Sweat and Mrs. Sweat are coming with a couple of their grandchildren, so we're going to have the Sweats around for those days. Maybe not all the time in the retreat, but definitely in the area, and we're looking forward to that. We're always excited about having Pastor Sweat and Mrs. Sweat around here, so that'll be good. But then, primarily, I just want to ask you to start praying as we organize, and as the missionary families decide on tickets and how to come. Some of them can't come this year because of schooling that the kids are involved in and whatnot, but there are a number already signed up on the online registration, and some of them have already bought their tickets to come. And so we appreciate your prayers for all of the preparations and the decisions that are made. But then many of you through the years have donated to the missionary teen retreat, and this is what happens when we get gifts, and we get gifts every year from individuals, and sometimes churches will send. We've had some nice, huge offerings on occasion from churches, usually where somebody has either been in the missionary teen retreat or has followed it closely. What we do is whatever money comes in, we use whatever comes in that people give, and if there's a little left over, and there is some left over from last year, we'll apply that as well. It benefits all of the MKs in one way, and that is after it's all in, it allows us to lower the inscription costs that each one of them pays. So it helps the missionary family in the end, and they pay less for their kids that they send. But then also, it helps us to buy. We always give them at least one, usually two, good solid books, good reading material for them. And so they take that home as well, and that can also come from those funds. And then if there's extra monies left over, and almost every year there is, sometimes a couple of $1,000s are left over, then what we will do, we communicate with each of the families to find out what they had to spend to get their kids to the retreat. Sometimes it's in the thousands. Normally it's in the hundreds, high hundreds, because those are good dates for flying. Many of them fly in. And so what we do then is we just take case by case, and sometimes sometimes the missionaries will say, well, listen, somebody provided for it. We don't need anything. Say, okay, good. And so what we do is we just look at all the numbers, and we apply those extra funds to those families. And so when the kids go back home, they all take cash back with them to their parents, either as a reimbursement for part of the inscriptions or and many times as well as some funds for the transportation. So if that is something that you would like to do, if you are interested, as many are, in giving these missionary kids a kind of a camp experience that some of them never get or very seldom get, well, this is one way that you can invest in their lives. They get good preaching, they get a wonderful atmosphere, Christmas atmosphere at that point, and they also prepare a concert for our local church here, and on Sunday they always present a multilingual concert of Christmas music, and that we always record so that you can see it as well. So if you're interested in helping that way, send it to our mission board and just mark it as MTR14. I will give that information, the mission board information, to you either with an email that goes out with this, or you can just write me at any point. There was something else I was going to say, and I don't have it written down, and I don't remember what it was, so that's nothing unusual. Y'all have a great October. Thank you for following the ministry, and thank you for giving if the Lord leads you to do that. So God bless you. Till next time. Goodbye.